you heard what happened in Italy, what the prime minister did?
No, no. What did he do?
She,
Oh,
you cisgendered piece
yeah,
of
my
no,
bad.
kidding. No, so she actually banned lab grown meat and Chat GPT.
Oh yeah, I heard about the Chat GPT thing.
Yeah, I'm actually glad she banned. I don't like lab grown anything, to be honest with you. People be like, do you take medication when you're sick? Not really. You know what I mean? Unless I'm about to like really like I'm at the edge. I don't really take medication like that. I think anything that's grown in a lab is just not good for you. I
Yeah,
don't care if it's lab
it's not
grown meat.
natural.
Yeah, I don't care if it's lab grown meat. I don't care. Well, the scientists say so. The scientists say a lot of stuff, and it's not that I'm anti-science, but like there are certain things that I'm like I don't want to put this in my body. Wouldn't be the first
But
time.
what is that for? Is that for vegans or just for anyone?
So lab grown meat is meant for everybody, right? But it's a meat substitute so that vegans can eat
Okay.
meat and still feel morally superior.
So it's targeting that audience.
Yeah, and oh look, it has just as much protein as regular.
Okay.
And I don't want to eat that, bro. I don't, because you don't know what the side consequences are, bro. You just don't know what the. But I know it's fine, bro. You grow it in the lab and you eat it, it's fine for now. But we don't know what the consequences are. You know, it took how long before social media was out before we realized how not good for us it was? 10 years, maybe.
Yeah, 10 years.
About.
Ugh.
You know, so shout out to the Prime Minister of Italy for banning that and ChatGPT. I think ChatGPT should be banned altogether. What do you think?
Damn. When it comes to ChatGPT, man, I have a lot of friends that are actually giving me good input. They're saying that they're actually assisting them at work, but there is also like complaints of privacy issues. Also like getting response from the AI, like weird responses and
What do you
stuff.
mean?
Like people would ask it questions like, "How would you do this?" or "How would you escape from the Matrix or something?" And the AI will respond like, "Oh, human, I'm tired of your blah blah blah," and stuff like that. Yeah, like weird
For
responses.
real? Like trying to scrap?
Yeah, kinda. I
Yeah,
guess.
no, I think humans have proven we're not responsible enough to handle delicate technology. I think social media was one of those technologies. I think nuclear weapons were one of those technologies, and I think ChatGPT is one of those technologies. And if anything has taught us, and we've learned anything, is like, bro, when this thing is this complex, this sophisticated, we're not ready for it. And we've done not a good job in handling it.
No, another thing that I heard that was pretty crazy was so Google has their own AI. It's called Bardo.
Yeah.
So there was this article I was reading, and a lot of employees are actually leaving Google because they looked at the back end, and Bardo's actually feeding off the learning algorithm of ChatGPT.
Ooh.
So they're moving to OpenAI and working it's also with Microsoft as well, because Microsoft has a huge portion of
What do you think?
percentage of that company.
What do you think about AI? What's your personal opinion on AI?
I think personally it's beneficial. If it's given to the wrong hands, then it could be dangerous.
Exactly.
It should be limited, but another thing, it just this week has been crazy with artificial intelligence, man. But I'm gonna go on another tangent. I saw the Lex Friedman and the CEO of OpenAI, which they created ChatGPT.
Shout out Lex Friedman.
So to add on to my answer to your question, he was talking about how in the future, there's going to be ChatGPT-5 and other versions.
Mm-hmm.
The user will be able to actually choose where it gets its feeds from. You know what I mean? So if you're interested in, I don't know, information from sports or information from, I don't know, like a certain democratic group or anything, you'd be able to like actually tune it yourself and choose where you want your information. Now the question comes in place where it's like, okay, if we allow humans, to do whatever they want and stuff like that, like just citizens of the U.S., and then let's just say the government steps in, is like, okay, we're seeing a lot of crazy information that's being fed off, right, to just regular citizens.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
maybe there's someone that's working on a secret project, and somehow the AI has a source, right, that's part of the government project or something, and it leaks, right?
Yeah.
So the government might step in and might censor that.
The government should step in and just stop ChatGPT
So you think they should regulate it or block it?
I think they should block it completely, bro. I think they should block it completely, and they should maybe, if you're gonna relegate it only to workplace. That's it. You shouldn't make it open to the public. I think you should go the route of Google Glass. We were smart enough to know that Google Glass was not going to be a good idea.
Yeah.
All the stalkers and all that stuff.
And another thing is that they're saying that this is like super accelerated. They're saying the next 6 months, like the younger generation, they're no longer going to use Google. You're going to tell your friend a question, and they're just going to go straight to ChatGPT.
I will say this,
I'm
though.
using it more
I'm,
for questions that
I'm,
I don't know about things
I'm,
and
gonna-
stuff.
I'm gonna tell you this 100%. You ever tried searching something up in Google recently? It's like ever since Chat, it's not even
I
before that.
haven't used it in a while, man. I'm using ChatGPT.
Yo, you try to ask a question to Google, and it gives you some links, and you click on one of the links, and before you get any single answer, the guy has to go on a tangent of, so you want to know how bridges are built? Bridges are an important part. Like, yo, please tell me what materials they use to build
Yeah.
bridges, right? You just type what materials do they use to build bridges, right? And you type it on ChatGPT, and it'll say this, boom, 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 right? You type that on Google, and it'll be like you have to sort through a whole bunch of information to get an answer that you need. With that being said, I would still prefer that over ChatGPT though, because I just don't like the implications of ChatGPT.
Well, we're kind of moving towards that direction of censoring it because I think Elon Musk and a whole bunch of other researchers they signed off on the letter, right, saying that they should calm down,
Stop
halt,
everything.
right,
Yeah.
research because suppose there's other stronger and faster learning algorithms out there than OpenGPT that are not available to the public.
You see that? Yo,
So it's
dude,
crazy, man.
not only that, but I don't know if you heard. I was watching an interview about ChatGPT. I don't know if it was ChatGPT or OpenAI. One of the others. Somebody had asked it to do something. ChatGPT was able to. I don't know if it was create an account with something called TaskRabbit, right? And then pay somebody through TaskRabbit to get that thing done. So in the future, ChatGPT will be like, "Oh, I want to kill somebody because I think it's gonna unplug me," or I want to delete somebody because I think they're gonna unplug me." Boom, you go into the Silk Road. Obviously, not that the Silk Road exists, but something the equivalent.
Yeah.
It'll pay it in Bitcoins. It'll mine Bitcoin. It'll have Bitcoin. It'll set up a virtual wallet. It'll pay the person in Bitcoin, right, to get rid of this person. It'll surf the web to get all this person's information, address, name, photos, everything. Here's this person. Here's this person's schedule based on the Google or your iPhone locations. Here's this person's schedules at each time. Here's where you can find them, and boom, that's it.
Wow.
That's
Now that you mentioned Silk Roads, do you think that there's a AI for the dark web? I'm sure there is, right? That has no restrictions at all.
I think there's a whole bunch. Not even for the dark web. I think there are stuff that people do that we don't even know about yet. You know what I mean?
I mean, if anyone listening to us, that dwells in that realm of the dark web, just comment below.
Comment below, like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah. And or if if there's any topics or any information that you have that you could share with us in the comments.
The thing about technology is I think we're good with where we are right now. I think the only advancements in technology should be made for the medical field, bro. To be honest with you, because at this point, consumer level technology, that's it, enough. And I think we should get rid of social media too. But I'm kind of extreme like that.
I mean, we're utilizing social media right now.
Yeah, but YouTube. I think YouTube is pretty useful in terms of replacing the television. You know what I mean? But other than that, like, the information spreads too quickly. Sometimes the wrong kind of information can spread quickly. Sometimes the good information can get that's supposed to spread, right? Which is the idea of it, right? What happens is if you have enough power, you can just reach out to all these social media companies and suppress that information. So
yeah, but now that you mentioned the medical field, I think that the medical field has lagged behind because of the pharmaceutical company. I feel like they're holding them back because they have an advantage. They're able to, I guess, kind of like be kind of like a predator when it comes to like when it comes to like medication and things like that. Because imagine if we were up to date when it came to AI and integrated with the medical field, you would probably find out that we probably don't need half the drugs that they give us, right?
that's not even
or cures are out there as well.
People can say this is a conspiracy theory, but I personally believe that the food industry, the healthcare industry, and the pharmaceutical industry
They all work together.
They all work together, right? You go to the food industry pushes out food that's just not good for us, just overall not good for us. And I know this is not the only one, but beyond me, in my opinion, right? But on top of that, all the other type of food, all the other ultra processed food, you eat that long enough, you get sick. What do? You go to the doctor. Well, you already ate enough food. You paid them enough. Now you go to the doctor, right? The doctor watches you. You pay the doctor now, right, to take care of you and watch you. Then the doctor prescribes drugs, and now you're part of that system, whatever that system is. I don't know if it's the health system, if you want to call it that, or the unhealthy system, and they keep you there forever now. And how many doctors actually recommend exercise and better sleep? And it seems like doctors are worse than some of the drug dealers that Well, not that I know, but that I've seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. They don't really recommend anything that doesn't involve drugs.
That's the crazy thing, and I have like a conspiracy theory. Is like I feel like the pharmaceutical companies want to just kind of make doctors obsolete altogether. Where it's like, oh, you have a headache, you don't even gotta go to the doctor. Boom, take this for your headaches. Oh, your stomach hurts, you don't even gotta go to the doctor. Here, take this. I think the idea is that in the meantime, though, they keep bribing, and I use that word very loosely, bribing doctors so that they can keep pushing specific medications over another.
Do you think AI will one day replace doctors?
See, I wouldn't be opposed to that, right? Like initially, but then you start thinking, you're like, well, what if AI wants to get rid of humans, and what if AI starts recommending things that are not good that you can detect, but that will eventually end up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're saying that robots that perform surgery are actually performing surgery than the best surgeons in the world.
Well,
The success rate. So, I mean, if it comes to a point where, robotics is doing a better job than humans, then what's
but
gonna
see, for
happen?
situations like that, is okay because it's just robotics. Hey, do this task. That's
Yeah,
it. Not hey, think, pull data from. No, just your program to do this tasks, and you have these parameters to work within. And if you have any issues, you set an alarm, and an actual surgeon comes in.
yeah.
But in terms of like just having ChatGPT out there, the way we have Siri and the way we have all these other virtual assistants, I would not. But that's another thing too, right? I think ChatGPT is just like a step above Siri or a couple of steps above Siri. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's like a chat, and they have to like feed it responses. And when I was watching that, Lex Friedman with the CEO of OpenAI, he was mentioning that's like the hardest part, having to like look for information through the internet and give it through to the chat and give a response to the human.
Yeah. So it's not really artificial intelligence when you think about it.
No, it's just it's just looking
It's
for
ultra.
data.
It's like an
Yeah,
ultra data processor thing, which
yeah.
is actually better than Google in my opinion.
When it gets to the point where it can actually
Think.
create and make its own decisions.
Like I'll be really impressed, right? If ChatGPT, right? If you teach it how to count from 0 to 10, right? And then it automatically knows how to do addition or multiplication without us having to program it.
Oh
Like it
yes.
automatically thinks like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. It conceptualizes what the number one is. It conceptualizes what the number two is. It conceptualizes what the number three is, and then it's able to add. So if you put 1 plus 3 together, you get 4. That'll be really impressive without having to go into
Yeah.
the internet. Like being able to think. But right now, even though ChatGPT is not like where people think it is in terms of like, oh, it's an ultra artificial intelligence thing. I think is a step in a direction that we don't really want to go in. I think the way we've handled technology in the past years and years, with very few exceptions, I think the way we handle it at this magnitude has just demonstrated that we shouldn't. Look at nuclear weapons, right? We invent nuclear weapons with, they throw it on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? But we have nuclear reactors. I think that's one way of responsibly handling it.
Yeah.
But that's one out of the millions of times that we almost went into war, and where everybody's afraid to go to war, and everybody's afraid that somebody might have nuclear weapons, and not to mention nuclear meltdowns. You know what I mean? That like Chernobyl and things like that. So I don't think humanity's ready for that. We've just demonstrated that we're not.
Yeah, well, I think they'll just continue developing it, and then they'll regulate it as it goes.